And one of the things I was most pleased about was to see the FCA's reaction in terms of the redress scheme following the Supreme Court's decision, which I think will be proportionate, will be balanced, and will be manageable.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Anthony Coombs, the chairman of SNU. Anthony, very good to speak with you. In your statement this morning, you described the Supreme Court decision as a victory for common sense. What does it mean for SNU and Advantage Finance?
Well, I mean, in my view, it's very good news indeed. We're very pleased with what I thought was a sensible and very balanced Supreme Court decision. It balanced the interests of consumers, which we've always held in very high esteem because they're our loyal customers, with sensible regulation and a sensible view of fiduciary duty, which the Supreme Court decided wasn't appropriate for this particular part of the motor finance market, nor I suspect from other parts of the finance market as well. And since then, we've also had broad details, also they're going to consult in October, from the FCA of any redress scheme, looking at the details and looking at the criteria which both they and the Supreme Court set down. We don't feel that that's going to impact Advantage Finance, our motor finance subsidiary, at all, and nor should it. And I'm very, very pleased by the result.
Advantage has stated that it never used discretionary commission models. Can you explain how your lending model differs from those under scrutiny and why that matters to investors?
Well, the discretionary commission model basically said that certain lenders were paying higher commissions to those brokers who were guiding customers to a higher interest rate model, or a higher added charge from credit in exact terms. We didn't think that was right. We didn't think it was in the customer's interest. And we've therefore never paid DCAs, discretionary commissions. We've always done non-discretionary commissions. We pay the same to our brokers, irrespective of the kind of deal or the kind of customer that we get them.
You mentioned the ruling could boost industry confidence and investment, Anthony. How does this position SNU for growth in the coming months, particularly as the recovery continues?
Well, I think it has a huge effect. We're already seeing, which obviously we're going to be talking about in the trading statement next week, a significant uptick in the amount of business that we're doing, and in both businesses, which is obviously very encouraging. But this, in a sense, sets the groundwork for regulation for some time to come. And one of the things I was most pleased about was to see the FCA's reaction in terms of the redress scheme following the Supreme Court's decision, which I think will be proportionate, will be balanced, and will be manageable. They also concentrated, in my view, rightly, both the Supreme Court and the FCA, on the activities of CMCs, claims management companies, whether they be specifically claims management companies or lawyers acting as claims management companies, which have been out of control, which have been egregious, which have laid a huge amount of additional costs on lenders throughout the financial services industry, and have really been there for their benefits, I think, rather than for those of the customers that they say that they're serving. So I think that the CMCs are rightly going to be reined in, and my view is that that's for the good of consumers in the long term.
Anthony, we look forward to speaking to you after the release of that trading update next week. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thank you, Stephen. All the best.
Anthony Coombs, the chairman of SNU.